Hey guys, Jenny here, and this is my review of Space Crew Legendary Edition on behalf of the XBL Party Podcast. So, if you are new to the Crew games from Rubber Duck and Curve Digital, which now encompass Bomber Crew, Space Crew, and now its Legendary Edition, the gameplay and the style of game might seem quite casual to look at. Don't let it fool you. These games can be seriously hard, and they will punish you for getting things wrong as well. If you bite off more than you can chew, this game lets you know. But it has a very deep customization options, both for your crew and your ship, which is good. It's cosmetic, there's actual upgrades, there's new skills that you learn, such as better weapons, shields. You get new characters to unlock in headgear, radiation suits. It's very detailed, the amount of things that you can upgrade for both the individuals involved and the ship that they're on. I feel I'm getting ahead of myself. However, if you're new to these type of games, the format is very simple. You have a crew of up to 6 members, you have a ship, and you choose a mission, and you send them out into space to go do the mission. It's a bit like Star Trek, where they get a basis of what the episode's going to be, and then they go off and then they do that episode and come back. It's, yeah, exactly the same type of thing. So when you're out on the mission, you assign your ships to the relevant assign your crew to the relevant posts on the ship. So someone will be in charge of engineering, someone's on the bridge flying, people manning the guns, etc. Different people have different skills that make them better suited to those roles. And they'll also then unlock powers. So certain people, if they're on the right station, will be able to call in fighters to come and assist you if it's getting a bit on top. Your mechanic, if he's in the core room, he can overpower it so that you get extra points to spend and you can boost your engine speed to help move around and maneuverability, or you can increase the shields and the weapons to get rid of enemies attacking you faster. It's entirely up to you how you approach it. It sounds pretty simple in that regard, and it is, but also it isn't. It's a bit bizarre. So that little snip there shows what some of the new elements are in the Legendary Edition campaign. Away teams, you can actually now leave your ship, go apart on enemy ships, downed wreckages, what they call the spaceships, international space stations, etc., and do search parties there. The one I had there was it'd been taken over by an alien force, so I had to go on board, destroy the cooling centers, and then leave before it exploded and get out in time. It's different, it's mixing things up, and some of them are actually really fun to play as well, little puzzles to solve. So yeah, it has a real new element. This game, like I said, it's simple, but then it isn't. When everything goes to hell and your ship's catching on fire, as enemy are battering your hull with plasma fire, your core's leaking radiation, killing everybody on board the ship, it becomes overwhelming. The control scheme doesn't help here either. The first 5-10 minutes of you playing it, you're going to keep forgetting what the buttons are, how to get used to it. It's not the easiest game in the world to play with this, but after a while, you kind of get used to it. There's an option though when you press LB, which slows down time, and you can alter that later on to be unlimited or sort of set time depending on how difficult you want the game to be. This option is an absolute godsend because no matter how much you've played, and I've put a lot of time into this game, there will be times when things really hit the fan and it gets frantic and you just need a breather to slow down and go, right, who am I sending where to put out what fire, to fix what part of the ship, to man what gun, because it's just so much going on at once. This honestly is some of the most intense experiences I've had in gaming at time. It just piles it on. But like I said, that button, absolute godsend. Another thing that helps is There's mouse and keyboard support for the game on console as well. So if you find it all a bit overwhelming to try and use a controller, you can just plug in a mouse and keyboard and navigate so much easier with that. This game as well is not only intense, but you feel loss. So if you lose a few crew members or your ship goes down and it takes everyone out and nobody can get to the escape pods in time, you feel a real loss because it's gut wrenching with all of the money that you've earned that you put into it and the experience and the upgrades into both the ship and the crew. They go, and the equipment, it doesn't go back to the hangar ready for you to use. It's gone. And that's a kick in the teeth. If you've worked quite far up into the game and you bite off more than you can chew, this game will punish you. You'll lose everything, and then you've got to do some of those smaller, easier missions to get your crew experience and the level back up so you can go tackle those bigger ones. Most games would make you want to go, oh, I'm not going through that again, but this one's so fun, you don't mind going back through it. I think the aesthetic of this game is great, and I think it lulls you into that false sense of security as well, because it's like quite cutesy, and the way they speak is not really talking. It can be serious. You just need to be ready for it. That's all I can say. And this new one, especially the second campaign, there's times, which I'll show you now, this space station and the planet that it hovers you above, I think looks really good, especially compared to the first one. There's a lot of environments. So yeah, at times this game is quite beautiful. So this Legendary Edition moniker then, what does that get you? So it gets you a second campaign, an entire campaign added for free if you own the base game already, which is great. And I think this campaign, where they've added an extra crew member, which I know they've now put in the first one as well, makes it easier to manage. And it also adds the away teams missions, which I showed a clip of earlier, and features new locations, missions, a new entire solar system to explore. I think this campaign is better than the base campaign. So they've really outdone themselves, and the fact that they're not charging for this is incredible. I should say further to this then that the audio of the game is great. The music that plays when completing a mission or in battle really suits that kind of big space drama feeling that it's going for. I love these crew type games. Bomber Crew was great. If you've not played that, I'd highly recommend that as well. But this Space Crew has improved on that, and now this Legendary Edition takes that and turns it up to 11. It's hard to see where the crew games are going to go from here, because they've kind of tried a lot of stuff and fleshed it all out and nailed everything. I'm sure they'll surprise me and there'll be another crew game along the way next year, but there's not anywhere further I can see they've taken it. This one is so good. I can't see where they can improve it, to be honest. If you like your strategy games and you like a game with a bit of charm, but also it can be as intense as you want it, this is a great game for you. I should mention that, as I said, you can change the difficulty, the amount of slowdown time enabled, and this will help you really ease into the game slowly. And then as you get more comfortable, I would start altering those elements, because you can do it throughout the campaign to kind of find what fits best for you and what feels like a good challenge and an enjoyable challenge. Because, as good as tough games are, some games, if they're too much, will absolutely batter you. And just a reminder, go in the options, turn on that extra crew member option, because it's a lifesaver. It makes the game so much easier and it's more manageable to play with that extra crew member on board your ship. But that's the end of my review, guys. I highly recommend this game. My name's Dejinner. This review's on behalf of the XBL Party podcast. We've got a new website. Link will be in the description below to check that out. And thank you for watching.